Hello, I'm going to attempt to methodically put everything all together for you. So, first of all, I know that we got a video that showed us how to find students that started late by going into the classroom and looking at the Students tab, and you could sort by start date. But the reality is that this is not listing my students that have just been added to my class. So I need a foolproof way of knowing who's in my class. I'm going to use that with that how to make mail merge progress reports tutorial that hopefully you saved the link to somewhere. Maybe it's on the everything page, but when you go into your grades and enter grades, export, click all the variables that you want to export, the assignments that you want in your progress report, export to Excel, click the link, open it up, enable, and you've got your brand new progress report. So this list is accurate. This has all of your students that are in your class or not in your class if anyone's been dropped. So you're going to highlight the last name column. Actually, you're going to hit Control All because the first thing you need to do is sort your list by last name. And if I had first names, but I'm FERPA friendly, I'd add another level and I'd have first names here. So you can get your data sorted alphabetically by last name and first name because some of our students have the same last name. Click OK. And there we have it. So now I'm going to take the last name and first name columns, if there were both of them, right click on there, and I'm going to copy those cells. Head on over to my old list. Where did I get this? I'm glad you asked because I made that tutorial about OneNote today. And in my OneNote, if I go to week 1, I've got my create class lists document. Oh, this was the most incredible thing ever. If you've used it, you know what I'm talking about. Yes, this is how I got all of that data. I followed these instructions that at first seem complicated, but then when you start doing them, really aren't so bad after all. And you come up with this, and it's got all the data organized. I organized it myself. I even added a notes column to it. And I have also added some progress. So using copy and paste. This list is alphabetized already, but if it weren't, I'd have to alphabetize it by last name and first name too. So let's go ahead and take that list from that new progress report I just exported, and I'm going to insert those cells right here. And now I'm just going to check and see who's on my new list that's not on my old list, and who's on my old list that's not on my new list. It's that easy. So I'm going along, and all of a sudden, Aiken shows up on my new list, and he's not on my old list. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to delete that. And if I'm not sure, I just might want to go ahead and copy Aiken's name, what the heck. So let's go ahead and delete that. And now let's go in here and we're just going to insert a row and we're going to, we're going to paste, oh, we're not. We're just going to type in Aiken's name. I don't know why sometimes Excel is crazy. I'm going over to my notes column and I'm going to say that on line 7, this student was added. Nice. Okay, so I'm going back to my old list again, and I'm just going to grab that, and I'm going to insert it here again. And okay, so we're looking good. All right, Aiken's on there. Sweet. Allison already. We're going along. And all of a sudden, look, I've got a discrepancy here. What's going on? Whoa. Bigelow is on my old list, but he's not on my new list. That means Bigelow's been dropped. I'm going to make a note. 9, 7, dropped. All right, now, did the student necessarily get dropped today? Maybe not, but that's when I noticed it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a note there. And I'm going to just delete that column again really quick, and I'm going over here and I'm grabbing Bigelow and I'm gonna cut Bigelow out of there. I like to keep track of my students who have dropped, and I'm going to put this student right here next to this other student who dropped the other day. Whoops. Hello, insert. Okay. So I've got my second drop here, whoa, and one of the reasons why I keep track of my students who dropped is because if it's like in the middle of a block or the middle of a semester, if they're going to a new school, which they better be because it's like legally required, right? The school is going to contact us and want to know what grade that student was getting in the class. So it's kind of nice to just have that right on your spreadsheet because then you can tell Sherry Allen or Jenny or Amber what that student's grade was super quickly. So I just go through and I methodically take care of that and I add the notes. And then when I'm all finished, I'm going to take all of that information and I'm going to copy it because this is my old list, right? And I'm going to paste that onto my new progress report. So I'm just going to insert it right here. Okay. And what should happen, because these are my new names, right? If I've updated my old list properly, then I've got all of my old and new names are going to match up perfectly. Look, I can see who all my new students are. Yay. So it matches up. Awesome. And there's the students that dropped, and I can just go ahead and delete that row that I don't need. It's actually a column. And here's all of the current progress. And now I can see, of course, who needs to be contacted and needs the late start plan. So let's put that little piece of the puzzle together. So if you've got your OneNote and you've got your late start plan that you started in about week 2, you'll just be able to copy and paste this right into this email that you're going to create using TotalView. So go to TotalView, click on Classrooms, and click on Students and get your list. And just get your class list that's now current and start checking off each of those new students. So then you've got Chalfont, and you just go down your list and you check off each of the students that are new. And then you click New Message, give it a subject line, Fine Arts A, welcome. Here is a plan to help you catch up. And if you know your little shortcuts, dear student dot first name, comma, I'm Mrs. Giroux, la 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 la, welcome to your class. I come over here to my late start plan, I copy that, and I paste that in there. I click File Message as a Note and send it. And then I also need to think about what assignments or tests or whatever can I excuse this student from. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to enter grades. And for those students that I'm excusing them, I'll just leave that blank and I'm going to write a note to the student. So I'm going to click on that and it's going to say, welcome. And then I'm going to use that little shortcut that you do, first name. So welcome, first name. I'm excusing you from this test. Nope, no, copy that. Save. Going into my OneNote, and I am going to do a comment for quiz 1.2. For excusing that. Welcome, I'm excusing you from this test. Notice I'm still in the grade book. Orientation quiz, this is pretty important, so I'm just going to go ahead and grade that item. And for any student that hasn't completed that orientation, they're going to get a comment. That comment is going to be coming over here. Let's see, comment for orientation, right in there. So this is going right in the grade book. And now that student has a plan that's built right into the grade book. And for those of you who are new, a really cool thing to do is check your class list and go in and view as the student user. So I'm now seeing things the way the student does. I'm going to click on grades. And look, there it is. The student comes into the grade book and it says, hello with their name. Isn't that beautiful? Welcome. Do you need help? Let me know. Complete your orientation today. Here's all of the links right in the grade book. Isn't that lovely? Elements of art quiz. Welcome. I'm excusing you from this test. And I'll go through and I'll excuse a student from any test that I want to. And it'll say it right in the grade book. And when the learning coach goes in there, they'll be like, oh, wow, it's so organized. I can see everything. And oh, look at Mrs. Giroux has her grade book organized by weeks and dates. So I can see exactly where we're supposed to be. Today is September 7th. So I know that we're somewhere in this area. And we need to make sure we have all of this done if it hasn't been excused after you're done viewing it from student view. And that's great. I like to, like, when I've added new things to the content, I like to go into the student view because I want to see how they're seeing it. A lot of times I catch mistakes. I go, oh, that's not how I wanted that to look. And then their name is going to be up here. When you're ready to go back to your view, it'll have their name. You just click the X and it'll log you right back in. I know that was a lot, but putting it all together sometimes is the hard part. So I hope that was helpful.